Right, so let's get to the first interview on the show today. It is coming from Facebook. Facebook organized a ground event where it was teaching startups, small and medium businesses on the best way to drive up revenue, drive up networking, drive up their client base, of course, by using Facebook. Today I'm coming to you from a conference that Facebook has organized to help out small and medium businesses, and I'm with the lady who heads this vertical at Facebook, who has decided that she's going to be rating all of my questions and going to give a thumbs up if she likes the questions or not. Archana, thanks for being a sport and inviting ET now. I know I've asked you this before, but I'm going to ask you again. Why does Facebook care about small and medium businesses? What does it do for Facebook's bottom line, if anything at all?
I think a couple of things. I think, and I've answered this before, so let me rate the question first. I think we're very, very committed to the journey of all of our advertisers. In fact, even people who start their journeys with pages on Facebook, right? So if you look at the life cycle and a couple of things that we've done over the last few months and the years before that is across each step, agnostic to your size and scale of business, we're enabling you. So for example, the event that you're at today is the Facebook Boost event, which is basically an event that's exceptionally committed to providing all of our small businesses digital skills. So what is it that makes you successful? How do you use the Facebook family of products? How do you drive ROI? So if you look at our family of products, we've always been very, very committed to saying what will work for your business versus what will work for us, right?
Okay.
So I think the commitment is to say
because what will work for the business will end up working for you.
Well, not necessarily. I think the larger goal is really to say, what do we do right so that customers at scale benefit? And I think because we are a medium as large as us, we have about, 400 million in India, people who are on our Facebook family of apps. I think there's enough expanse. I think the idea is to make sure that all of our customers use the tools right so that they get the returns as well. And more importantly, the customers at the receiving end always get the right products. Right?
I'm going to ask you the one question, which I'm sure you have gotten tired of answering today, and I know it's part of your job, so you have to do it for us. And I'm asking this on behalf of all the startups, on behalf of all the new entrepreneurs who are looking to Facebook to drive up revenue, to drive up their business, just become more popular and all of that. Can you give 3 tips?
Certainly. I think, so one, I'm not tired of that question. I think my job is to serve the SMB audience, and I love it, and I love doing it every day. I think the 3 tips is start using the Facebook family of products on your own first before you decide to scale, which means that we are very, very built towards do-it-yourself kind of environment, and therefore it's good for businesses to start using our products as they start. The second bit is make sure that you use as much imagery, as much as mobile content as possible. I know sometimes it isn't for small businesses to start off, but Facebook and all of our family of apps are extremely mobile friendly. So make sure everything that you do is mobile friendly. I think that would be my second tip. My third tip will be, as you scale, stay patient. Because in an environment which is very machine learning led, you may not get results in 24 hours, but if you allow machine learning to optimize for you, therefore we will be able to give you the right results with the right set of monies for you to spend.
Patience is a virtue. How long should one be patient for?
Patience is...
Because you should know, am I doing it right, not doing it right?
So I think it is, when I say patience, I'm not expecting people to wait over months, because we truly value the money spent by advertisers on the platform. I think the idea is every time you switch a campaign, you switch an objective, wait for about 2 weeks, then it's settled. That's how much we wait always, right? And then that should be able to give you the right results to drive scale for you.
You said imagery.
Yeah.
Does that mean photographs versus video? Have you seen what does better?
Well, it depends on the type of product, but I think what does exceptionally well is just the vertical formats, right? So, we are hugely video-centric as an economy in India now. We're also hugely centric as mobile as an economy. We know what the ramp has been, and I don't want to quote numbers there. So I think what I'm really referring to is using mobile-friendly creatives. And I think the other part that's important to call out here is even within mobile-friendly creative, sometimes it's difficult to know, hey, will this look good? Hey, is this good or not? And I think you have tools which are available. So we run something called Creative Studio, Mobile Creative Studio. So you can log in, you can check if your creative is good enough or not. If you want more advanced help, there's something called Mobile Anatomy that we run, which equally helps you to say, is your creative right? How are you pitching it right? So I think
So
use the
you
tool.
put up the creative and then it tells you good or bad?
So it tells you both things. It gives you advice for what is a good creative. I think that's very critical. And B, then it gives you other templates to use that will help you make sure that your creative the next time round or this time round is best optimal. It's absolutely free.
Okay.
It's absolutely free. So all of our support ecosystem, right? If you look at it, so when you start a journey as a small and medium business, we bring blueprint training for you. And then when you take a step further, you use automated ads. Again, so automated ads is nothing but saying, hey, if you don't have the time to invest to decide, hey, this campaign objective, this way to look at it, how do I slice my audience, you could use automated ads that will help you use and set the right objectives, knowing what your business is all about, right?
Okay.
So you could do that, and then we go a step further where we say, you've just gotten funded, right? And you want to scale tomorrow, and therefore we run a program called the VC Brand Incubator, on which we spoke last, which is where we offer literally one-to-one advice on what you do to scale businesses. So I think it's a journey across. There's enough and more free support which is available, and we will continue to provide that free support. We do it as part of She Leads Tech, we do it as part of all of our other programs, and we'll continue to do that.
So I want to ask you another question, because I see a lot of people here who are very, very young. They're the millennials over here.
Yeah.
And this is supposed to be the age group, pardon me for saying it, that is logging off Facebook and is primarily on Instagram. How big a challenge is that? Are you seeing a situation where you're on Instagram for your personal use, but on Facebook for your business use?
I don't think the lines are as fine as that, and I don't completely agree with the hypothesis, but we'll leave it for another day. I think Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp help you solve very different purposes for businesses, also the same purposes of the businesses, right? So exactly what I was talking about today in the morning, which is look at the funnel, right? You start with awareness, you close with conversion. Depending on what's working for you, you could use any of the family of products and they will provide results for you. So for example, if influencer is a big thing for you, and we heard a couple of people talk about this in the morning, we had Bamboo India talk about it and him launching and creating an entire business on Instagram, then maybe Instagram is the forum and you can continue to drive reach using Facebook as well. Alternatively, if you're looking at something which is extremely performance oriented and you have a brand funnel as well, use Facebook. So I think it's what works for you when, in which cycle of the business. I don't think it's tuning out of Facebook and getting into Instagram. It's just using some part Facebook, some part Instagram, and now WhatsApp to see what really drives your business objectives.
Archana, can I ask you that, so far, and we're only at lunchtime when we're recording this interview, you've interacted with so many of the small and medium businesses that have come here. Any that have really spotted, have really impressed you?
All of them. So I think...
How diplomatic.
No, it's not diplomatic.
I do it.
Let me bring it back up. Let me do that effort. So I think all of them, and I will continue to say that. I think all of my businesses who spend time, as well as businesses who are starting off, are very dear to us. But there's some very inspiring stories we heard today, right? So for example, this whole story from Yogesh on Bamboo India, on how he started the business and how he wanted to establish it as the next, or the want of a better word, rich man's wood, right? To say, use these products, they're recyclable. This whole story about how he got celebrities to endorse his products without paying any amount of money. So I think all of those stories become very inspirational. There was a lady I just spoke to, she was from Tangle's Bakery, and she walked up to me and I was swamped with like 5 people telling me what they want me to do tomorrow, and she said, you know what, I just came and I wanted to say thank you for what you do for us. And I was all, going to look at her and say, now another question. It is delicious. So she's diversifying into silverware now, and so she's like, can you help us? So I think a whole lot of stories that you saw this morning, right? You saw this amazing story from Pinkley, who pretty much again set up her business on Facebook. We also ran a story on this very interesting brand which talked about how they aggregated a whole set of cobblers in a community to start doing handmade shoes. They see hangover, and we ran an AV for Lakshya. So I think all of these businesses exceptionally inspiring. They make our lives wonderful every day. They make us value what we come for every day. Not diplomatic. So you can still give me. You can
I changed it. I changed the
Thank
rating
you.
to the answer. As I wind this down,
Yeah.
there's another trend that we've seen from the Facebook group, which is that basically hyperlocal is flourishing primarily also thanks to WhatsApp. Is that also part of the KRA over here, because it just makes delivery so much easier, it helps you go really hyper-local along with Facebook?
Yeah, so I think it's a couple of things, right? WhatsApp is got the engagement that it's got, right? And we've spoken about it. But I think a couple of things. The first thing that I think is very important is globally we look at we service about 140 million businesses. That's nearly the size of a couple of nations put together, right? But I think what's very interesting to see here is across each one of these journeys, different products come at different times or all at the same time. So for example, if you look at the WhatsApp business app, it's your first way to establish A, you're a business, B, you start managing your account in a way that a business needs to manage. And then for example, something like WhatsApp also has catalogs. So you start putting up your products, you start getting responses. So I think each one of these mediums offer a very strong connect direct to consumer. It's not that we are the middle layer and you need to go through us. And therefore, I think
That's why you also said use the entire platform.
That's what I'm saying. It only solidifies that opportunity. So saying, hey, build your brand using Facebook, build it using Instagram, get the right influencers in, have engagements. Either you could do it via Instagram or Facebook, or now use WhatsApp to do it, right? So I think when this bouquet comes together, when we go from click to WhatsApp all the way to the WhatsApp journey, which is you can straight away go into a WhatsApp window. I think all of those steps, depending on when it's good for your business, if you just switch them on, I think they can drive large value. And you heard people say that, right? You heard people say, I started my business and 50% of my costs were marketing, and now only 5% of my costs are marketing. So going back to where we started, we're not taking away the money. We are enabling businesses.
So how do you
really
make
want
money?
to do that. Right, we make money through advertising, but that's
so you monetize it,
right. So I think there is an advertising engine, but I don't think that takes away from the responsibility that we have, and I think we're very committed to it. And therefore, you see events like these, like Boost, like the VC Brand Incubator Program, which are all pretty much run free of cost for all of our customers, and they can come in.
Other trend I want to touch upon, Archana, very quickly, because this is something that we've seen a lot of businesses struggle with as well, and we've talked about this word, influencers. A lot of people believe that maybe it is just a bubble world that you're living in, packaged to look like you're living a great life, getting a lot of freebies, all of that, but it also comes at a cost. In the past we've seen all kinds of superstars endorse everything from bricks to toothbrush to houses to paint to clothes to everything, right? Now you're seeing that with influencers. Does this trend have a shelf life according to you, and when should a company go in for an influencer, because it's not cheap?
All right, I think I'll take a step back and I'll say, hey, when are customer testimonials important? I think customer testimonials are always important all of the way.
That's different from an influencer, engaging with an influencer.
But not really, if you look at it from my lens, right? At the end of the day, when you engage with an influencer, the influencer is endorsing a brand, right? At the end of the day, that's what is really happening. So for example, the story you heard today from Bamboo India had an influencer actually put up a picture of the 100 toothbrushes she bought on Instagram and said, hey, this is a great product. And then he went on to say for the next 15 days, we were only shipping orders, right? So I don't think that customer testimonials will ever go. I think if at all, they'll only get more important because the internet, for all the right reasons, is democratized, right? And with the mobile, penetration growing where it is, I think it's only going to escalate. And therefore, I think it's a great trend. It's just that we use it like we should use it for our businesses, which is to make sure that we get the right customer inputs in, that convince other customers to either make a purchase or buy.
In this new age, we've all expected it from the fourth estate, we've expected from TV channels, from print. Why is there no such expectation, or from your part, where businesses also say this is a paid partnership with an influencer? Isn't that also fair for the larger audience to know?
I think it's different, right? A lot of the partnerships that you see are not really paid partnerships, right? So for example, the partnership that I just spoke of is just endorsement of someone seeing your product and saying, hey, it's great.
So a lot of influencers that send products home and they take make a story out of it or whatever.
I'm saying, hey, to each his own at the end of the day,
Yeah.
right? I think we're a platform.
But that shouldn't be up to Facebook, what
Right.
you're saying, to make
Yeah.
that public.
So I think we're a platform, not to make that public. I think we're a platform. We will provide all brands, all advertisers, ways in which they can engage with their customers. Their strategy is not something we own, right? So we just provide them the platform. How they use it, we leave it up to them. And therefore, you see everything that you see here today.
Archana, thank you so much
Thank
for being
you.
so candid. Always a pleasure interviewing
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Well, ever since I came to this WeWorks facility in Gurugram, I've been eyeing that TT table. So I'm going to play some TT. We'll take a short commercial break.